2, 1.
7 things you probably didn't know you need to know. I'm Jamie East, and this is the Smart 7.
Good morning, everybody. It's Monday the 13th of December and it's National Hot Chocolate Day. And a big happy birthday to Dick Van Dyke, Emma Corrin, Jamie Foxx and Taylor Swift. There were 1,239 new cases of the Omicron variant discovered in the UK on Sunday, which brings the official total to over 3,000. The rate of spread is causing serious concern among the scientists and chief medical officers of the nation, who've now raised the UK's alert level to 4, the second highest. It also meant Boris addressed the nation on Sunday evening to announce an acceleration in the booster programme to 1 million doses a day.
There is a tidal wave of Omicron coming, and I'm afraid it is now clear that 2 doses of vaccine are simply not enough. Our scientists are confident that with a booster dose, we can all bring our level of protection back up.
Boris faces the challenge of getting his Plan B measures through a reluctant Parliament this week as a rump of Tory backbenchers plan to vote against the measures. But with Omicron cases doubling each day, even Plan B may not be enough. Dr. Susan Hopkins of the UK Health Security Agency told Andrew Marr that although we haven't seen any deaths yet from Omicron, it's still too early.
I have not had a reported death yet, but it's really important to remember it is just over 2 weeks since we first detected the cases in the United Kingdom, and that hospitalizations start to be seen about 2 weeks and deaths usually at 3 to 4 weeks. So I think it's too early to make any assumptions at this point in time.
All the talk of a tidal wave of Omicron cases couldn't spare Boris's blushes as the Mirror published a screenshot of him presiding over a Downing Street quiz on Zoom in breach of last Christmas's regulations. Education Secretary Nadhim Zahawi says we've got it all wrong.
What do we see in that picture? We see a Prime Minister on a virtual quiz night for 10 to 15 minutes to thank his staff, who, by the way, had no choice but to come in every single day, sitting in his office with the 2 people who are closest working with him, no alcohol on the table, not drinking, right, on virtual call, respecting the lockdown rules.
Former Minister Edwina Currie had a somewhat backhanded compliment for the Prime Minister.
With all his faults, with all his strange personality traits, he is very far from being a saint, and in many ways he's a sinner. But not only is he the best that we've got, he's actually very good indeed at the job.
Labour leader Sir Keir Starmer, on the other hand, was less than impressed by Boris's Zoom quiz antics at a time when the nation was locked down.
The Prime Minister's lost the authority to lead. He can't provide the leadership we need at this crucial time. He's the worst possible leader at the worst possible time.
There was devastation across the United States this weekend as an extraordinary group of 30 tornadoes tore across 6 states, leaving chaos and destruction in their wake. One of the states hardest hit was Kentucky, and Governor Andy Beshear says the death toll will probably be over 100 people.
I've got towns that are gone, that are just gone. My dad's hometown, hidden standing. It is hard to describe.
President Biden responded quickly and approved emergency aid.
I also approved the emergency declaration that was requested a couple of hours ago by Governor Beshear of Kentucky. That's going to accelerate federal emergency assistance for Kentucky right now when it's urgently needed. And I stand ready to do the same for the governors of the other states.
As tensions continue along the Ukrainian border with Russian troops massing, the G7 met in Liverpool to consider a plan of action. Foreign Secretary Liz Truss says that all of the nations in the G7 group are very clear about what the consequences will be for Russia and Vladimir Putin if he makes any moves across the border.
And what we've seen this weekend is very much a united voice from the G7 nations being very clear that there would be massive consequences for Russia in the case of an incursion into Ukraine that would carry a severe cost.
Still to come on the Smart 7, nail-biting drama in the conclusion of this season's Formula One Championship and tributes to vampire novelist extraordinaire Anne Rice. Right after this.
You're listening to the Smart 7. If you're enjoying it, you might also like the Smart 7 Ireland edition. Just search and follow us on your favourite podcast platform.
3,
The Formula One World Championship came down to the wire in the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. It was a race that ended in controversial circumstances after a late deployment of the safety car, but it was a race that Max Verstappen in the Red Bull car won.
The championship can only be won by one, and it's going Dutch in 2021. Max Verstappen, for the first time ever, is champion of the world.
Mercedes still won the Constructors' Championship and planned to appeal the decision that saw Lewis Hamilton miss out on a record-breaking 8th title. For Max Verstappen as the first Dutchman to win the title, it was an incredible moment.
It's insane. I mean, I don't know what to say. These guys here of my team, and of course Honda as well, they deserve it. I love them so much.
Sunday night saw I'm a Celebrity wrap-up after a challenging season disrupted by Storm Arwen. It was also a highly entertaining run of trials and a sharp commentary from Ant and Dec as they regularly poke fun at Boris's ongoing Christmas party troubles. And Dec wasn't quite done with him.
We've already booked our first celebrity for next year already, so that's something to look forward to. Evening, Prime Minister.
The final three were Frankie Bridge, Simon Gregson and Danny Miller.
The winner of I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here 2021 is Danny! Yes!
And even though he didn't win, Coronation Street's Simon Gregson came up with one of the more memorable lines of the evening while discussing the trials he'd been through.
And the cow's vagina wasn't great.
The cow's vagina wasn't the best I've had. I shouldn't really say
Anne Rice, the Gothic novelist who brought us The Interview with the Vampire Chronicles and probably inspired the Twilight Saga, has died. Her son Christopher announced her death via Facebook. She was 80 years of age and had suffered complications from a stroke. Her novel sold over 150 million copies worldwide. An Interview with a Vampire starred Tom Cruise, Brad Pitt and a young Kirsten Dunst who was nominated for a Golden Globe for her role. Anne was against the idea of casting Tom Cruise in the movie initially, but she soon warmed to his performance. Rest in peace, Anne.
Tom Cruise really did read the books, I think, and he got the essence of Lestat. He got Lestat's power and his charisma and his charm. He got all of that across in the movie. He had great skill in that performance, I think, and great power, and I liked it. I was very impressed.
This has been The Smart 7. Wherever you're listening, do us a favour and hit the follow button. We'll be back tomorrow at 7 a.m. Have a great day.
Written, produced and published by Daft Doris.